Warcraft 3 Reforged is apparently an absolute disaster. Which, I gotta admit, I'm usually the doomsayer here who predicts quite a lot of doom and gloom, see Dawn of War 3, but I did not see this one coming. I mean, it's Blizzard. They are sitting perched happily atop their Mount Everest-sized pile of cash. And it's just a remaster. Basically, if they'd updated the models a bit, maybe improved the music a hint here and there, thrown in a new cutscene or two, you know, retouched the old ones, stuff like that, people would have been more than happy. That's all you'd have to do. You wouldn't have to mess with anything. In fact, it would be preferable if you kept your dirty, greedy little paws off the classic gameplay that everybody actually enjoys. And, you know, of course, keeping all of the features, keeping all of the stuff, keeping all of the charm of the original. Because the thing is, a classic video game at the end of their day is a miracle. It genuinely is. It is a perfectly balanced tower that all comes together in just absolutely incy-wincy, binsy-bit correct way to create a masterwork. Every tiny little bit of it, the music, the sounds, the voice acting, the gameplay, the graphics, the style of it, all of it comes together to create a masterpiece. If you start picking apart individual pieces and upgrading them, you may easily end up breaking the spell of the original. Particularly with a game like Warcraft, where you have a very old art style, or very old graphic style, more correct, but it is nevertheless very charming because of the way that it has been presented. Like, I don't think that Warcraft 3 looks ugly today. I think it looks stylized. But, nevertheless, Blizzard has managed it. They have managed to fuck up Warcraft 3 Reforged. I guess they don't have to worry about the next Dota flying past their grubby little noses, which, well, that's a bonus, I suppose. They didn't even have to add in that incredibly unpopular end-user license agreement. I mean, it's still in there, so that ship is already sunk, but still, lessons for next time, perhaps. So let's have a quick look at it. So this is the Reforged Reddit. It is, as you can probably imagine, quite full of very angry people making jokes at Blizzard's expense. Counterfeit coin gained 30 euros this week only. Oh, well, maybe. The uproar over the custom maps, obviously. Reforged, yep, good example. Warcraft 3 Reforged at 1.5. Oh, Blizzard, Blitzchung, Warcraft 3 Reforged, and do you guys not have phones? Yes, they have been shitting their their pantaloons, yes, with frightening rapidity and consistency recently. The scores, 1.7, 1.6, 1.5. Below Fallout 76. That requires a quick round of applause right there, I believe. Blizzard lying off Reforged features and forcing it on classic players. So, if you don't know, if you're trying to play Warcraft 3, the classic version, and you try to go online, guess what'll happen? Yes, it'll upgrade your product to a objectively inferior one. Oh, Jesus. I talked about this a while ago with Creative Assembly trying to boost the Saga series a little bit by essentially retitling Fall of the Samurai as a Saga's game, because before Throne to Britannica they were like, oh yes, we want to make Fall of the Samurai again, that was awesome, right? And everybody's like, yeah, that was awesome. Throne to Britannia isn't though, fuck off. And so they retroactively made it a Saga's game to try and get a little bit of, you know, wind beneath in the sails, okay? Already then, I was like, okay, right now this isn't a problem. All they're doing is really changing the fonts, but this will inevitably end up in the future with a company taking a beloved old product and ruining it by updating it, quote unfucking quote. I mean, it already kind of happened with Stellaris. I fucking hate the new Stellaris. You know, for all the flaws of old Stellaris, and by God, there were a lot of them, I still kind of enjoyed that game. The new one, no, I haven't booted it up since they patched it. Like, I tried it for like 5 minutes and was like, this isn't Stellaris anymore. Go away. And now we have yet another beautiful version, absolutely. 1.4. 1.9. Oh, the good old days. 1.9. Oh, and I have to give special notice to one meme a little bit further up here. This one, right? Sir Kyle, pre-order doesn't mean shit, okay? See, I agree with this so much, because just yesterday, I was like, oh god, should I just download that piece of shit Blizzard launcher and buy a Reforged? I mean, it's gonna be such a nostalgia trip. I really enjoyed Warcraft 3. It'll be fun, it'll be great. Luckily, it was about 6 o'clock in the morning, and I was about to pass out, and so I went to do that instead, because I stay up way too goddamn late. And I woke up the next morning, and I was like, oof, dodged a bullet. And I purposefully ignored all of the marketing because I was like, la 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 la. No. Because I knew I'd break and pre-order it if I heard about it, because it's like, Warcraft 3 was really good. When you pre-order a game, you're just committing to paying for something that some asshole in California haven't even finished working on yet. You know what you're getting from a pre-order game? A big dick in your mouth. I could not have said it better myself, Cartman. That is genuine poetry, and true poetry as well. And just for the cherry on top, the piece de resistance, they are denying refunds. Because of course they are. So this poor bastard in Australia tried to get his refund, but too much playtime had passed, which is a beautiful one, by the way. And so there's a whole long discussion here between him and a community representative who's basically telling him shit like, customer law doesn't matter. The customer law in America, in Australia is fucking completely pointless. We don't care about that. It doesn't apply to our games. No refunds. Every sale is final, which, by the way, is literally illegal across the globe, I think. And yeah, he basically gets nowhere, and so he decides to actually send them a little bit of threatening letter saying that if they don't give him a refund, he'll be sending this to the Consumer Affairs Victoria and to the ACCC, which absolutely you should, because this is not legal. This is getting us back into the discussion about terms of service. Can Blizzard even add in a terms of service that says that anything you create, they own? Well, in a way, if they say that the custom map area where you upload it to is a publisher, essentially, that they are publishing your content, then they can lay claim to it. It's scummy as shit, and they will also then be responsible for anything you upload to it. So should somebody upload a map with, for example, say, I don't know, the coronavirus is an American conspiracy or something like that, then Blizzard would be legally responsible for that message if it was ever actually uploaded and not moderated before that. This is the difference between, again, publishers and platforms and so on, which I am pretty goddamn sure, having read the legal terms of service around that, but the legal wording around that will apply just as fine to what is essentially a custom map hub as it would to pretty much any other media platform. But then again, I may be incorrect on that one. I'm kind of just speculating on that, so bear in mind. But terms of service are not necessarily enforceable. That doesn't mean they are not enforceable at all. It just means that ridiculous shit cannot be enforced through a terms of service, and it cannot be considered a legally binding document in most cases. Essentially, you have to prove that most people would read and understand your terms of service to be able to enforce it. And in the case of, video game terms of service where no one reads it, and that is the general consensus, the odds of you actually being able to enforce that in the court of law are fucking nil, pretty much. And when it comes to user rights, which are protected by the various nations, that also is, it's not a digital product. They don't give a fuck about that. You can't be like, oh, we're in America, we're going to use our laws. No, you are selling a product in another country. You are obliged to obey the laws of that nation. And if you... Here's the thing, too. Video games are already not in compliance with any real, user rights and laws. For example, in most of the civilized world, you have a refund period of up to a month, which you could reforge a product. And it doesn't give a shit if it's digital. It doesn't give a shit if your web store is in America. You have the right to expect a functional, done, finished product that works. If you do not receive this, you can ask for your money back. That is your right as a consumer, protected by the laws of the countries in which you operate. The only reason why video games have been able to skirt this for so long is because, well, we as gamers don't really give a shit. Usually we can self-regulate. We can hit the company in question with massive downloads, which is another reason why review bumps are so goddamn important, by the way, and why they should be protected rather than hounded at every goddamn turn. We can we can pour so much heat on the company in question that they will eventually go like, okay, fuck it, fine, have your refunds. And that has worked so far. Whether or not it'll work in this case, well, we'll see. But there is already several lawsuits out against major companies that are running their happy little asses through the courts of many countries in the EU, which will eventually be resolved, but god, it's gonna take fucking decades. It's gonna take absolutely forever. And in fact, I've been thinking of making a video on video game regulations, because the more I think about it, as much as I hate the idea of the government regulating things, especially in an arena like video games, where so far we have been able to self-regulate via review bombing, via backlash, and via word of mouth, with companies like Steam and the Epic Game Store waging a war on these means of communications from the players, eventually, I think our only choice is to either A, be butt-fucked by companies who will refuse our refunds, who will give us broken products and tell us to eat shit and get fucked, or literally just go crying to Daddy State and go, they're abusing us, fuck them. And it's not going to be our fault. It is not going to be our fault in the slightest. They made us do this. They took away our current ability to hit them. Review bombs. They took away our ability to influence their actions. Alright, well, fine. If we can't use the soft stick, we'll go use the extra large stick on your asshole. See how you enjoy that. I think there will be a great deal of whinging when it goes in, let's just say. But hey, details, eh? Oh my god. Blizzard. It is tragic. It is genuinely tragic. Blizzard was a great fucking company. And their death is now playing out right before our very eyes. This once titan of PC gaming. The goddamn company who would scrap years of work because it did not meet their own internal standards has now fallen to this. We live in sad times, friends. Sad bloody times indeed. Until next time and more cheerful news, I have been Arch. Thank you all very much for watching, and I hope to see you all again soon. Excuse me now as I go cry in my corner. Have a good day.